longer than I am old. Into the kitchen, let's sit down at Granny Marble's kitchen table, talk about the things that are affecting agriculture here within our region. First up is ag weather, and if we have a weather event within this area, it's probably going to come about on Saturday, so let's check Saturday ag weather. And we'll use the San Antonio region for our benchmark. Increasing clouds on Saturday with a high of 55, east winds 5 to 10, a 40% chance of rain after midnight on Saturday, cloudy, low of 43, east wind 5 to 10. Sunday, rain, high near 48, northeast wind 10 to 15, gust of 20, chance of precipitation 90%. Sunday night, 20% chance of moisture after midnight, cloudy, low 35, north winds 10 to 15, gusting up to 20. And then Monday, mostly sunny, a high near 51, north wind 5 to 10 mile an hour. Here are your commodities of ag interest. March corn, $4.94 3/4, up 3/4. March beans, $13.67 1/2, up 12. March Kansas City hard red winter wheat down 5 at $5.93 1/2. March number 2 cotton up 1 at $79.77. February live cattle down 60, $114.37. March feeder cattle down 42 1/2, $137.15. March U.S. dollar up 229 points at 90.02. February West Texas Intermediate crude up 84 at 51.67. Neighbors, COVID-19, whether you believe the hype or not, has affected all of our lives. Tom Nicoletti has a report from the USDA's Rod Bain about how it's affected rural communities in our nation. We get that after this.
You're looking for soybeans that give you the yield you want. But when it comes to fighting your toughest weeds, you also need flexibility. Introducing Extend Flex soybeans. Elite genetics with triple tolerance to dicamba, glyphosate, and glufosinate. The yield you want, the choice you need. Learn more at extendflexsoy.com. Always read and follow IRM where applicable, grain marketing, and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
When we moved to Texas, we were like fish out of water. We didn't know anyone in our neighborhood until our Texas Farm Bureau insurance agent came to the house. She was so helpful and reassuring, a friendly face with that Texan hospitality I'd heard about. When we purchased a Texas Farm Bureau insurance policy, we knew we were making the right choice. We knew our family would be protected.
Visit Texas Farm Bureau Insurance today at tfbinsurance.com to find an insurance agent who's a true neighbor. Coverage and discounts are subject to qualifications and policy terms and may vary by situation.
A yearly report from the U.S. Department of Agriculture on rural America looks at how the coronavirus pandemic impacted sectors of that section of the country over the last several months. USDA's Rod Bain has more from our nation's capital.
The Agriculture Department's annual Rural America at a Glance report was slightly different in 2020 compared to previous editions. The report itself was released 1 month later than in past years. And while the report usually covers a specific theme, in addition to its look at changes in rural population, unemployment, and poverty rates, for the 2020 edition,
we really decided that this year we would focus more on COVID-19 and how that is being experienced in rural America.
Elizabeth Dobis of USDA's Economic Research Service was among the authors of the 2020 Rural America at a Glance. She says COVID-19 related cases and deaths in non-metro areas surpassed metropolitan areas by late summer.
That larger shares of rural residents are vulnerable to severe illness and death from COVID-19 than urban residents. This is due to underlying factors such as health conditions, old age, lack of health insurance, and distance from medical care.
So in comparing non-metro versus metro COVID-19 vulnerability sources, percentages of rural residents in each category were larger than their urban counterparts. In particular, intensive care units are harder to reach from a distance perspective for residents of the Great Plains and Intermountain West. Also studied the impacts of the pandemic on rural unemployment rates.
Both rural and urban America experienced severe spikes in unemployment following the start of the pandemic, which was higher than the peak in unemployment in January 2010 following the Great Recession,
peaking at 14.5% in mid-April. Dobis adds that both rural and metro unemployment rates had fallen by mid-September due to federal relief programs and increased consumer spending. In terms of rural economic sectors,
if we look at counties that are mining dependent in August of 2020, we found that they had the highest unemployment rates in non-metro America, whereas farming dependent counties actually had the lowest unemployment rates in rural America at that time.
A specific COVID impact in rural America, according to the study, is the cases of COVID-19 in rural counties where a high proportion of jobs originate from meatpacking operations. NOBA says this rate peaked in mid-April.
These are counties that have at least 20% of their employees working in meatpacking. We could see a very strong relationship in these counties to COVID-19 cases.
And at its peak, cases of COVID-19 in meatpacking dependent counties reached 50 per population of 100,000 people.
Peak that was around 10 times the rate of cases in other counties.
Rates declined significantly starting in mid-May, with partial plant closures and increased social distancing procedures in place.
Since then, these counties have been moving on par with other non-metro counties.
I'm Rod Bain reporting for the U.S. Department of Agriculture in Washington, D.C.
Texas Farm Bureau Insurance has protected fellow Texans with auto, home, health, and life insurance since 1952. With more than 260,000 square miles of land and 27 million people, that's a lot to cover. Whether you're wrangling cattle or wrangling kids, we're proud to protect Texans in all Texan ways of life.
Visit Texas Farm Bureau Insurance today at tfbinsurance.com to get insurance for Texans by Texans. Coverage and discounts are subject to qualifications and policy terms and may vary by situation.
This is Texas News and View.
Thank you, Tom. Neighbor, it's time for chicken fried steak and jalapeno gravy, plenty of Nanny's juice rolls, and a cold cucumber salad, and a visit with my friend Jody Fry from Producers and Cargyle, San Angelo. Jody, I understand you had surgery on your eyes. I'm glad it worked out well and you can see pretty good. Tell us how you saw the sale making out on Thursday in San Angelo.
Good sale to start the year, Larry. 1,250 head was the total. Pretty similar numbers to the week we left off there in 2020 compared to that last week in December. We're calling these better quality steer calves, fully $2 to $4 higher. Had some nice groups of weaned and vaccinated steers weighing kind of 500 to 700 pounds, and they sure met good demand. Other classes of calves and yearlings, calling those about steady. Lesser quality calves, including those longhorn crosses, continue to sell at a steep discount just where we left off last year. Slaughter cows and bulls kind of turned the tide on that a little bit, calling them $1 to as much as $3 higher. And that best demand would be coming for those heavyweight, fleshier cows and bulls. The lighter weight, thinner cows and bulls just trying to hold about steady. Very short supply of bred cows and a few 2-year-olds sold today, steady to slightly higher. 400 to 600 pound steers, better quality steers, 120 up to a high of around 185. Had a few bring just a touch more than that, but mostly in that weight range, kind of from 130 to 160. 600 to 800 pound steers from 105 up to a high of 140, mostly 115 to 130. Better quality heifers, 400 to 600 pounds, 110 to 140, mostly 115 to 130. Slaughter cows, average to high yielding, 42 to 52. Several of the highest yielding slaughter cows from 53 to 59. Had a small package of high yielding limousine cross cows that brought 61. Still some of those thinner type cows, those shellier type cows, anywhere from 24 to 38. Slaughter bulls, average to high yielding from 62 to 78. A few of the highest yielding slaughter bulls from 80. The top bull today brought 90 cents.
What's on the agenda for next week?
Weather permitting, I think a good many more cattle. We've got a calf sale in conjunction with the regular Thursday sale. We know of some cattle coming already. If we have good weather Tuesday and Wednesday, I would say somewhere in the neighborhood of 1,500 to 1,800 is what I'd be thinking.
Tell everybody how to get a hold of you.
You bet. Call us there at the office at 325-653-3371. My mobile phone would be 325-234-7895.
Your rights are under attack, and the 17,000-plus members of the Texas and Southwestern Cattle Raisers Association are here to help you fight back. We invite you to join us in our efforts to safeguard the ranching way of life. The benefits of the TSCRA are many, ranging from our political watchdog efforts to continuing education to discounts on items you use every day and more. For more information, call 800-242-7820 or go to www.tscra.org. We're on the line with Russell Heller from Lexington Livestock Commission Company. It's about 8:10 on Friday morning. We're looking toward a Saturday sale. Russell, what do you anticipate?
Yes, sir. I know of a couple sets of calves. One's going to be about 15 and the other one's 25.
Good. How are they bred? What do they weigh?
Black and black baldies, and one other set's little Charolais.
All right. How cool did it get up there this morning?
It's about 33. It's pretty good frost.
Yeah. Well, good. Well, the weather's supposed to have a chance of moisture later on. You could always use rain, can't you?
Yes, sir, we can. We'll take it.
All right. Well, tell everybody how to get a hold of you for the sale at Lexington on Saturday.
Yes, sir. You can get me on my cell, and that number is 979-820-7002.
Neighbor, I want to remind you about my friends Stephen and Terry Lehman at Lehman Pipe and Cattle. They've got used sucker rod in 5/8, 3/4, 7/8, and 1 inch, and they've got used oil field pipe, the #1 structural, straight, no holes, splits, or heavy scale, 2 3/8, 2 7/8, 3.5, 4.5, 5.5, 6 5/8, 7 5/8, 10 3/4, and 16 24-inch diameters. Also, from time to time, they see some #2 pipe available at a reduced price. Truckload discounts and delivery also available. They also have cattle guards. They make them from 10-foot wide to 30-foot wide, depending on the customer's needs and wants, with or without wings or cross gates. Also, the heavy-duty concrete beams to set them on. Stephen and Terry Lehman, Lehman Pipe and Cattle. Email them at lehmanpipe@gmail.com or call Stephen at 979-966-3447 or Terry at 979-820-8155. That's Stephen and Terry Lehman, Lehman Pipe and Cattle. We're on the line with Rodney Butler, Beeville Livestock. Rodney, how's the sale shaping up today?
We're looking to have a good sale today. We're tagging on 350, so I imagine we'll get another 100 head in, so we'll sell about 450 head of cattle today. We've got a few palpates, got some good sets of calves up there. Not many packer cows to speak of this week, and not very many bulls. But we do have some good calves up there. We got some lightweight calves, all black molly face, come off heifers. Got some good Charolais steers heifers up there, weighing probably around that 5.5 to 6. And so we got some big yearlings too. So we're gonna have a good sale. Hopefully everybody has a good new year and get this thing rolling. Good start.
Good deal. You folks are hearing this about 12:03, somewhere like that, so the sale is going on. Get on down there, get some cattle bought. You still got time to get cattle to the ring to get sold. Rodney, tell everybody how to get a hold of you.
Yeah, if I can help you market your cattle through the year, please call me at 361-358-1727 or call me on my mobile, 645-5002.
We appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.
We're on the line with Sam from D&D. Sam, I've never seen as much Stay Tough fence in my whole life.
That's right, Larry. Right now we have the largest supply of American T-post and the largest supply of Stay Tough fencing in Texas.
Tell us how to take advantage of all that product.
All you got to do, Larry, is call me at 830-379-7340 and ask for one of our friendly staff members.
We are on the line with Madison Bexley from Lockhart Livestock. Maddie, how did our Thursday sale turn out?
Hi, Larry. It was a pretty good day. We ended up with 670 head of cattle with 130 cows and 9 bulls, 105 sellers, and 66 buyers.
Let's walk the pens.
On the stocker cows, we got along pretty good. Not much to pick from in the way of pairs. A couple decent pairs brought from 1050 to 1100. The mediocre and middle aged from 8 to 975. The good bred cows from 775 to 1075. The mediocre, middle aged, and short breds from 550 to 750. The plainer in and longhorns from 250 to 450. The packer cows and bulls would have been a couple dollars better than the end of the year. The good high yielding cows from 48 to 62. The medium yielding from 38 to 47. The low yielding and lightweights from 22 to 37. The good high yielding packer bulls from 84 to 93. The low and medium yielding from 58 to 83. And compared to the last sale in December, the calves and yearlings on most classes would have been steady to a couple dollars better on a real active market. And the front-end quality cattle took a real good selling this week. So all in all, it was a real good week.
Are you aware of anything for next week?
No, but I was going to tell all of our customers that starting next week, we're going to start selling our sheep and goats at 11:30. So
all right,
make sure and join us.
We will. Tell everybody how to contact you, Madison.
You can always check us out on Facebook, or you can call the barn at 512-398-3476. My cell phone at 979-540-9793. Or you can ring Bubba at 512-461-6091.
We appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Neighbor, let's take a look at the grains courtesy of John Tuggle. Call 800-288-4453. Milo through Corpus in January, March plus 240, 1311. Progresso 1150. Yellow corn through Corpus in January, March plus 45, 539. Progresso 1015 by the hundredweight. Hard red winter wheat through Corpus in January, March plus 70, 668 and a half. Houston, March plus 95, 693 and a half. Houston beans, January delivery, March plus 10, 1365 and a quarter. Placido, March less 60, 1295 and a quarter. 3,329 bale of East Texas, 2,684 bale of West Texas. Together, neighbor, it averaged $76.39. That's it for Down on the Farm. I'm Larry Marble. Neighbor, we'll see you back on this Down on the Farm affiliate station. Same farm time, same farm channel tomorrow.